everyone, welcome back to Studioloo. We're here for December the 5th of Dephemerember. So the description box down below, I have linked everything relating to this challenge, and our topic today, our prompts, are snippet roll and woven flowers. So in my other life, I am a fiber artist, so I do lots of weaving and that kind of stuff. But I also make all sorts of kinds of snippet rolls. This is just a big paper one that I use up my scraps to make. Snippet rolls can be with collage. They can be all sorts of things. And the idea is, like, you can use up a lot of stuff and roll it all up, and then you have these usable things in your stash. So what I'm going to do today, though, is I'm going to get started with a weaving idea. To create our snippet roll. This is a bag that I sewed quite some time ago. It's kind of big, so it's taking up the whole screen, but you'll see it here, and I'll show you. This is one of my weaving looms, and it's this bag is really fun because I put this great big strap on it so I could wear it like a crossbody bag, but then I also put a handle on it on this flip. I should probably like drop a pattern for this bag because it's actually pretty great. So in here I have a chip and sparrow loom, and I'll show it to you here. Like, you'll see the whole thing momentarily, but see, chip and sparrow. So I should mention that you can make your own little loom out of like a book cover or a piece of cardboard. I do have this sampler pack of goodies that were sent to me with this loom. So I'll pull this out here, and you'll see this little loom. It has notches here in the ends, both ends. And I'm gonna just show it to you as we go here. So here's my little bits and bobs, shuttles and things and bobbins. And then in here I have other tools, needles, and yeah, that needle is a yarn needle. This is a yarn needle. And these are nice long needles for other things. These are just accessories that I keep all in here. We'll probably use those needles, so I'll keep them up here. Okay. Do I need anything else out of here? I don't think so. I'll just roll this up, move it out of the way. So as we want to get started here, I just want to do a small amount of weaving today. Not a huge amount, because we're making a snippet roll, right? A strip. Snippet rolls, I personally like to use them for things like belly bands. So I'm going to get a little bit of lace here. This is actually alpaca that I dyed, alpaca yarn that I spun. And this is some other 2-ply yarn that I spun a long time ago. So I just grabbed scraps, as you can see. So how we want to get started here on a loom is these are all little notches, and we can kind of wedge this down here and tie a knot around the bottom of the loom. Where's the best place? Maybe right over here. I'll just start here, okay? So let's just tie a bow right there. Okay, so there we go. There's the first one. Now, actually, hold on. I should tie a knot, not a bow. What am I thinking? Just a gentle knot. There. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th peg in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th peg in. Gonna come up. And then we're gonna loop over the next little loop right here into the next wedge. And then come back down again. And you see that? And then into the next one. And you keep going until you get the width that you're going to want for your weaving. I'm going to go, I think, to maybe here. This will be good. So then I'm going to take this remaining bit here. We'll break it off. And I'm going to tie it around again. Same way that I did here with the other one. Just a simple little knot. There we go. Okay, so here's our strands that we're going to weave through. So now we can just kind of begin. Because we're doing such a small weaving, I don't think I'm going to use these great big guys. So I'm probably just going to use my little yarn needle right here and my comb to push things. So let's get a start here. Why don't we begin with a bit of this yarn? So we're going to just come in with a length of this, okay? It needs an end as well. We don't want to weave forever and ever. I'm just going to tie a little knot here. And I'm going to wedge this little knot right on the little thing beforehand. The little notch. And then I'll bring the other end up through the needle. And then we'll come in here gently and just begin the weaving. Now this is kind of a big needle because the yarn we're bringing through here is chunky. So let's just get our first pass there. Okay. And then I'll push it with the comb to get it up against there. And then we want to go the opposite way, weaving under over in the opposite direction that we did the last one. And pull it through until it's taut, but you're not tugging at the threads, okay? So then we went over it, so then go under, over, under, over. And on the way back, you'll go over, under, right? And then every now and then you can come in and just push it. And that's how your weaving will look. Now, I'll show you how to introduce a new color. So let's neaten this one up. There we go. Now I can actually just leave this here, okay, to the side. And maybe we'll come in, not with lace. I changed my mind on the lace. Might be a little complex for today. A little bit of white, gray. There's this pretty bit here too. But I think I'm going to keep it kind of simple. And I'll use some of this stuff too. Just the blue. Just a little bit of roving, but not a ton. And I'm just going to kind of tear it off here. I'm not going to use white. I'm just going to use the blue-green. And maybe a little of this gray. Yeah, okay. Put all our fibers up here. Okay, so next, and the flowers are going to come in. You'll see in a moment here. I'm going to get to that. Find the end of this. This is somebody's little scrap, I think. Let's just cut this. We'll see if it is attached. We have a knot. I absolutely love weaving. I have many looms, but big ones, little ones, you name it, I have looms. But I like chip and sparrow looms. They're a very nice little affordable, accessible kind of loom for beginners if you're interested in them. I did do like a tutorial video when I first got this loom. Here's both ends, perfect. But I'm going to use what I've pulled off here. And if you just search on my channel for like chip and sparrow, you'll find it. It's a little review of the looms. Okay, so then thread on through here, and I typically like to start from the end I left off on. It doesn't really matter, to be honest, but I just do things that way. And I'll pull it through. and just leave the end out here. So let's do a few of these lines. Okay. Okay, and set that over there. And bring our comb here. See, we just push it on. See how you're getting that nice weave beginning there? Then, why don't we do a little bit of roving? Now I'm going to strip the roving down a little in half. And roving is just wool that's been prepared in this way. It's been combed into this long bit. And then what I'd like to do is I'll start roving on this side just to be different. So we're under this one, over, under. There we go. You still want to keep with the pattern. Okay, and I'll leave a little excess out there. Okay, so it's time to weave in a flower, and I've got some sheep's locks and a bit of kind of fluffy merino wool, and I'm just going to kind of grab a little bit of the sheep lock because it's got some natural curl to it, and then some of this pink wool because I think it'll just be a nice sort of blend. Now what I'm going to do is just tie them in a knot like so. And it'll look like a little kind of flower. You see that? It's like a little fiber flower. So now we need to weave those in. So I'm just going to take the edge here, like so. And I'm going to weave it from the middle where I want it to sit. And I'm just going to basically do exactly what I've been doing, but using this bit of wool and kind of keeping it right in the one place, just going under, over, through the threads here, like so. And that's going to keep that there. And then kind of keep going with it until I run out of fiber. And I feel like it's firmly attached. Separate those threads, they're stuck together. Alpaca is a little bit felty, so it's not what I usually use on the weft, but it's okay. There we go. Okay, so we've got our flower on there, and then I'll just sort of tangle it again through here with some more of the bits and bobs. Okay, so see, it's on there, and we're going to add more floral sort of features to it afterward. But for now, I'm going to come back up through here. We left off on that side, so now we got to finish the weaving here. But what I'm going to do when I come back up here, I need to see how I left off. I was going under this green. This one? Yeah, under. Okay. Under. So we're going to go over, under. And we're just going to start the weaving process again. But as I do so, I'm also just going to kind of tangle myself in here a little bit with this, fiber. And just pull it through. This first one's going to be a little foundational and behind it, right? So then come back to your weaving as normal. It might take just a little bit to kind of reestablish your normal. Over, under. Okay, I don't want to get too tight there. I mean, this doesn't have to be as perfect as if it were like truly a weaving project, because like we're going to be using it with paper and doing some other fun, weird stuff with it. Okay, over, under, over, under, over, under. These three, they're kind of intermingling, and we don't want that. There. And there we go. That's in there nice and tightly, so it's good. And I'm going to be adding like some stitching elements to this. I just want to show you like the weaving bit and how sort of simple it can be. Okay, I'm going to go on high speed again and weave up a little more. So we've done a little bit more weaving. I love how freeform this is. Like I would never be allowed to be so loose and freeform if I were making like a weaving for a garment, but I'm not, so I can do what I want. I even have this kind of fun, this might be interesting, this jute that I got off of a package. That would be really fun to put in there. Why don't we try? Needle right here in front of my eyes. Okay, so we'll go in here. Try to bring this through. I don't know, just bring it to the knot in it. I'm going to use that as more texture. We're just grabbing random scraps out of the scrap bin at this point. I keep all these weird things on my desk from just different projects and stuff that ends up in the studio here. Okay. Whoopsie, we lost the needle. Happens sometimes when you're doing such a free-form kind of wild project. Okay. Let's bring that through and down. And then what I might do is just kind of snip those off there because we have like a knot on the end. So yeah, that can kind of stay like that. And then I think I can probably get one more weave through of this. We'll see. Just got to get the tip through, really. Over, under. There we go. Oh, I lost it. Sheesh Louise. Okay. One more time. Let's not lose it this time. Actually, I think, you know what? I'm going to call it quits on that because, yeah, that's enough. It's kind of hard to pull the jute down. There we go. Okay, I'm going to cut that off too because I don't need all that there. That's good. Okay, so now we need, again, a more kind of normal yarn. Which one do we want to use? Actually, I like how that would look next to that, but I think I'm going to go with some white. Just basic white here. And then we have to add another flower. Okay. So we're under, but we want to get to re-establish our normal weave again here. Okay. Do one more. Okay. And then just give it a nice pull. And then again, I'm going to come in with a bit of the orange lock. I think I chose the orange because it's such a nice contrast to this blue roving that's in here, this blue-green. And the pink to just kind of make it feel more floral. So we'll pull those out together here. Tie a little knot. Just to create a bit of like a beehive kind of feel. And then you're left with these two bits here, right? So this is what we do. We come in from the middle again. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So go from the 4, in between the 4th and the 5th string. Bring that one through the weave. Do the same with the orange one on the other side. Just pulling it kind of under and over with your fingers. Okay. So now that's in there. And then if you still have excess again, just bring it back through in the weave, over, under, over, under. It's just going to help it secure more. Okay. Then just come back in with your yarn now, up nice and close to this. And you can kind of tangle it a little in your fiber as you're weaving. Just be careful not to like do anything to break your original threads. Don't strain them too much. Okay. And then we kind of whip through a few rows of regular weaving. Okay, so I'll do one more here and then I'm going to go back to high speed and I'm going to finish this off, and I'm going to be happy with just the 2 flowers. Maybe I'll add a 3rd, but I'm just going to speed through the rest of this because you've seen me do all of this weaving, right? So let's just go back to high speed. Okay, so I am back from the weaving. Toward the end there, my battery started to get a little bit dead, so I wanted to just bring you back as I took this off. So I changed batteries. So this is off here now. On the end, when you're weaving, you want to weave up as close to like your ends as you can. It's gonna, you can pull it down a bit to tighten, so you're gonna have a little bit of excess like thread, a tiny bit. I like to kind of just pull the whole thing a little bit. And then at the end here, I'm just going to bring it through and tie a little knot on that last loop here. Now this is a little different than like textile weaving. So if you're a weaver and you're like, she is not doing this how I would expect she should as a weaver. I'm not trying to do like a professional textile weaving. I do a lot of very fun artful weaving and stuff that goes very outside the box, as I'd hope you'd expect me to. So let's get our scrap thread out of the way. I'm going to put this little needle back in the needle case here. And then we'll talk about the next steps here for this. So we tied these on, remember? So now you can probably just give them both like a tug, I imagine, and they will probably either break or undo. So let's just tidy up this end now that we have it. Okay, so what needs to get tied here? Probably these. Let's tie those together. Those are the two ends, 1 and 2. And then scissors. And then over here, I might just tie this little bit of fiber together just because to the yarn. Okay. And then I'm going to go through and just clip off any of the excess. So maybe I'll put the loom away and then we'll deal with this. Okay, so now we're here with this and we can look at what we would want to trim off. So I'm thinking probably most of this, these end pieces of fiber and yarn are going to go. Mainly because I just like don't want the bulk for this project. And also we're going to be sort of securing this with other elements of work here. Just see what I'm talking about. This one I'm going to leave. I like that. Okay. All right, so we have all these little scraps. These are the perfect kind of scraps if you, you know, you keep an ort or something, and these little bits, you could make covers out of them. You could make a flower out of that. There's all sorts of fun stuff you can do with that. Okay, so let's flip this over onto the side that has the flowers. And I told you I wanted to kind of embellish these flowers a little bit more. So I have here just a bit of black embroidery floss. And what I want to do is actually pretty simple. I'm just going to thread a needle here. And I'm going to stitch through I just want to tie a couple of knots to create like the little pistils in the middle of the flower. So do that a couple of times without, you know, unthreading your needle, because you don't need to. You're just using the end of the thread, right? And in the event for some reason they didn't secure when you were weaving, which I doubt that would happen, now you're definitely tying them in, so it's even less of a stress point, right? So now this kind of blobby. Looks now more like a flower. You could also put silk leaves into this, like those that you would buy at the, you know, floral, you know, shop, or Michael's, or any kind of fake flowers that you like. All sorts of options here. You could bead these. You could even, if you don't have fiber, you could make these with fabric, with strips of fabric and lace, fabric and lace leaves. Yeah. And I know that weaving is kind of like a little bit more niche thing that, you know, not everybody does. I get it. What did I do here? I somehow got myself tangled. What is going on? There we go. Okay, let it go. That's better. Just get back in the center here. I'm actually just going to start again. Something went a little weird. I think I got caught on something. I don't exactly know what, but you want to go back in the inside. Obviously, you could do French knots to make this center. And you can, with fiber, you can kind of give it a little tug, right, to perfect how your flower looks. And you know, if you don't have a loom and you want to make a simple one, it's actually very easy. You can do it with a piece of cardboard, or if, like me, you have lots of books hanging around and you've got an old book cover that you don't want to use anymore, it's very easy. You just take a book, say this is a book cover, okay, or a piece of cardboard, you know, and take a ruler so that you've got like some even lines, let's pretend, okay? So let's say this represents a centimeter, all the way across here on your cardboard or your book cover. Okay, so let's say you go all the way across. Then what you want to do basically is you're going to create notches, and that is to catch your yarn through when you are weaving, right? So cut notches with a tool, scissors or whatever. And then from there, you know, you're able to take a piece of yarn, right, and notch it. And you're just doing this. You're going, maybe I will use a piece of this to just demo quick for you, because this is scrappy anyways. So if you're starting up here, you're coming down into notch 1, behind into notch 2, up to notch 2, behind into notch 3, back down into notch 3, into notch 4, and so on until you've gotten all the way to the end, right? So, and you're tying here and here, right? You're doing your 2 ties there, and then you're just weaving back and forth through there. So quite easy peasy, right? So you can make a homemade loom that way very, very simply. Okay, let's get back to this. We got one more to go, I think. And then we need to turn this into something that's a little more mixed media, maybe. And I might do some stitching, because I like stitching, and I've got some other fun ideas to make this a little bookish, and less just textile-y or fibery. Okay, one more tangly knot here. There we go. Okay, so we took 3 kind of, you know, fibery blobs, and we've made them look more floral with these pistils, and I think they look really super cute little flowers. Okay, now to make this a little more junk journal-ish, I'm going to get a bit of book spine, and that's a little cute tab that I made. I'm just grabbing things out of my scraps that I keep on my desk because I have 80 bajillion of them, so let's use some. Okay, so now we'll take this piece, and I've got this big fat piece of seam binding here. I think I might just like back it on here just because I like that, and I think it'll make things nice. Then I'm going to come in here with a bit of book spine, I think, and like lay that on there too, because like I want it to show on the front. Then I'll take a little of this kind of scrappy stuff, put that here, and it's just going to kind of mix things up a bit, you know what I mean? That here, and like don't lose all your weaving, but you know, feel free to use a bit of fun stuff here and there, because it's just going to make it more interesting. That there, and then maybe we'll take one little piece of lace and put it on here. Okay, so this whole thing, I'm going to throw a little bit of fabric tack on the back of each of the pieces that I've laid down here to just keep them in place until I can run this over to the sewing machine. One there, and I mean just like a little simple line of fabric tack. You don't need a ton. Just glue that lace down to that, flip it over. Okay. That there, and one more piece right here. I go with that side. More colorful and interesting. Okay. So now it's time to go over to the sewing machine, and I'm going to run a few lines of stitching, probably down the whole thing, avoiding the flowers. But I want to stitch through all of this other stuff that I've put onto the weaving. Okay, so we have stitched. You will see zigzag stitches here. They kind of fly down here, all the way down here, and around and down here. And you can see it really easily on the back, on the seam binding. And I just like the seam binding because it kind of gives it like a foundation. And so now we have these, right? You could make really cute little clustery bits. This could be a nice belt for a journal. You could use this as a belly band. Obviously it's going to have a little bit of bulk. Also, if you want to do something really fun on a larger scale, and I have done woven journal covers and those kind of more textile things in the past, and I think I have like some videos. If you look for like freeform journal cover, maybe on my channel you'll find something like that. But yeah, these make really nice journal cover kind of pieces. So if you're doing like a freeform kind of crazy quilt cover or something like that, you could do a whole cover like this. Like imagine, you know, if this were a shorter, you know, snippet roll, or even if you wanted to cut it and then like, you know, put one piece above and another, like, so there's a lot you can do with this kind of thing. It's a lot of fun, and it is in fact a snippet roll. It does roll, see? So, you know, that makes a cute little decoration. If you're looking for just a fun little decoration in your studio, even, you could come up with something cute like this. I see it right now just like hanging on a Christmas tree even. It's a lot of fun. So that is my project for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. We are back again on December the 9th. We take the weekends off, which I love, actually. It gives me a little bit of prep time. So thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying Dephemerember so far. Don't forget to click the description box to see all the things about me and about Dephemerember. So we'll talk again soon. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe, because we have fun here. So anyhow, take care of you. Bye for now.